today's book is The Mastery of Self. It is by, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. It's by the son of the guy who wrote the Four Agreements, and honestly, I might like this one more than the Four Agreements. But what I like so much about this book is it says the same thing as every other self-improvement book, but it takes it from the angle of the esoteric. It takes it from the angle of the spiritual, the religious, the philosophical. It doesn't take it from, oh, this psychologist said this is how the mind works. It's crazy to see that the Toltecs, who were basically around during the time of the Aztecs, they knew this stuff and they applied this stuff, and it's been the same. And it's crazy to see that people thousands of years ago knew how to frame things in their mind to be happy. And if we just open up our minds and open up, the pages, we can have this knowledge. And some of the really, really good aspects of this book was, I really liked how the author took upon the concept of attachments and domestications. And he basically said a domestication is you sacrificing something to be valued in society. Like, think when you go to a restaurant, they hand you a whole plate of food. It's almost disrespectful if you don't finish all of that. But what if you're not hungry? What if you're full? You're going to continue to stuff yourself? Every day we make sacrifices like this to fit in, and every day we take a little bit of our authenticity away when we do stuff like this. And these things eventually gradually grow into attachments, which are like our belief systems, what political party that you vote for. A lot of people don't really agree with the politics of their party. They don't really agree with everything that they do, but they will still blindly vote for them because that's what they identify as. And these attachments attach to our ego, and when we can't get away from these things, when we can't rid ourselves of these, it sticks our soul. Our soul cannot grow. Our soul cannot be fulfilled. And it's a great analogy, and I really love the way that he goes through this. And another thing I really love about this book is he brings up the example of a shaman who basically realized that the entire world is interconnected. The goals and beliefs of everybody on a fundamental level are the same. Everyone wants prosperity for the entire world. Everyone wants peace. Everyone wants happiness, but we're almost shrouded in a fog. A lot of us are surrounded by fog, and we can't see through it. We can't see that we all have the same goals, that we all have the same beliefs, that we all want the same things, and not just for ourselves, but for others. I guarantee you, on a fundamental level, you want everyone to be happy. You want everyone to be doing good, and it's the fog of life. It's the disagreements. It's the bickerings. It's the differences in opinions and the differences of beliefs that really fog up the world and get us away from the real goal, which is advancing society, making the world a better place, making the world a more righteous place, all living within our means. None of us are taking from each other. None of us are getting one over on each other. And it's the fog that that starts a lot of the problems in the world. And when we can see the world without fog, we can see the world for the beauty that it is. When you go on a walk and you look at the trees and you look at nature, there's something deep inside your heart that isn't just explainable. There's something deeper. There's something in this world that exists and lives in each and every one of us, but we don't take the time to appreciate this. We don't take the time to appreciate the loved ones in our life, the people around us, the people that are not as well off as us. And we need to start applying these things into our life to give back, to embrace, and instead of get all angry and be fearful and hate somebody because they vote for a different political party or have a different belief or believe in a different God. It's so frustrating that we live in a world where I can say all these things and we don't understand why we're so unhappy, because the more you dislike others is the more you dislike yourself. And I very much urge you to pick up this book because it is tremendous in the way it expresses its beliefs. It's tremendous in the examples it uses. It's very simple yet very complex and very poetic, and that is a great sign of any book. If a book is so complex that somebody that can barely read can't understand it, then there's no point in that book being read, because if you have to interpret it for yourself, if it's not philosophical, if it's not there, if it's not a deeper meaning, if you have to decipher what the author is saying, that's not a book worth reading, because you want knowledge that's universal. You want knowledge that is applicable to everything. You don't want that weird gray area where you have to read 40 books just to understand what an author's saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I really love this book. I finished it within a day. It was one of the most fun reads I've had recently. I urge you to pick it up. And if you haven't read The Four Agreements, this is another book that's just like that. So I will link both of those books because they both have great wisdom, and I'm probably going to pick up the other books that these authors have written. I love the philosophy. I love the esoteric wisdom. It reminds me a lot of stuff Manly P. Hall talks about and stuff Osho talks about. So yeah, more books to come from these guys. Thank you so much for making this far. I will catch you in the next one. The links will be in the description. My Discord will be in the description. On top of that, I just released a mental alchemy course. That's crazy. I'm 12 floors up and I can hear that motorcycle. Sorry guys. But I released a mental alchemy course. It's about changing the bad in your life to good. Viewing things in a positive light. Finding the silver lining. Always framing things in your mind to see the good. And when you only see the good, that's the only thing that will be reflected in reality. It's less than $1. It's the best thing I've ever put out. Please consider checking it out. Thank you so much. Peace out.